Welcome to the Eden Podcast, where we think again about the Bible on women and men, and we start with a correct understanding of what happened in the Garden of Eden, back in the beginning. Today we'll be hearing from Bruce C.E. Fleming. He's a former academic dean and professor of practical theology. The work of the Tru 316 Foundation is based on the research of Dr. Joy Fleming, who wrote the book Man and Woman in Biblical Unity, Theology from Genesis 2 to 3. Listeners like you are joining us as members of the Tru 316 Foundation and support the work to true the verse of Genesis 3:16 and the 7 key passages on women and men. It turns out, when Genesis 3:16 becomes clear, all the other passages become clear too. You can learn more at our website, tru316.com. That's TRU316.com. And at the end of this episode, we'll tell you about a special gift we have for new members. And now, enjoy today's episode of the Eden Podcast.
Have you heard of TED Talks? We've been recording True Talks for you from people who have been touched by the Tru 316 message of joy in Eden. These True Talks are part of our celebration of the launch of the Tru 316 Foundation. We'd love to have you become a Tru Partner to help true the verse of Genesis 3:16. Simply go to tru316.com/member. And now, let's listen to this True Talk.
Hi, I'm Joanne Hagemeyer, and I'm an author, a counselor, a mentor, and a pastor, member of our pastoral team at my church. And I offer exegetical teaching on my website, and I also offer 20-minute multimedia presentations on my YouTube channel, and all of that I offer for free through Grace and Peace Joanne, LLC. I have years of training in Bible study fellowship. I was a very young woman with a 1-year-old baby girl when I first started going to Bible study fellowship, which is dedicated to studying the Bible book by book. And I spent many years there, first as a children's leader, then a group leader, and then I became a substitute teaching leader and a teaching leader, and then an area advisor. And in all those years of studying the Bible and the training that comes with being careful about what is the truth, what are the facts, and what do those mean, and how does that impact your life, had an impact on my life. I met Bruce online, and I'd already read Bruce's book on leadership heresies, and I'd also read Joy's research on Genesis 2 and 3. And the truths that both Joy and Bruce were writing about really resonated with me. And I wanted to help others be able to search through the scriptures themselves to see what they both see. So for thousands of years, both men and women have labored under this false notion that God cursed Eve, and that God cursed Adam, for that matter, in Genesis 3. But it just isn't true. Women have been blamed for a host of issues that were never women's fault, never was Eve's fault. So how we relate to each other has to begin with the truth. In marriage, in how we interact with each other in church, in life, it will all change dramatically when both men and women are freed from wrong theology that really comes from the wrong translation of God's word. I've worked with Bruce often behind the scenes to be able to get this really important research out to everyone, out to you, and out to all the people that we would like together to bring. And so what did I do? Well, when Bruce and I first started talking, I was fascinated with the research that Joy has done and also the books that Bruce had written. And Bruce was doing these podcasts, and they had to become books. And so as Bruce and I talked about the books that we were going to put together, I suggested that we bring in a Bible study, bring in a study guide for each chapter so people could follow along in the scriptures to see a truer translation and also to see what that translation meant and how it would impact their lives. And so I hope that as you read through Bruce's 4 books that bring in Joy's research, and as you go through those Bible studies, that you too will see how the truth and what that means and how to live it out will change just about everything in your life. And then we thought, well, we need to get these workshops up on YouTube and create a channel for people to come here. Sometimes reading and studying is the best way to learn for people, but sometimes watching and listening. So we got those YouTube workshops up. And Bruce and I also did some episodes together. Maybe you heard some of those in the podcasts, just going through the Bible studies and talking about everything that a person can see when you read the Bible with a more knowing eye.
Thanks for listening to the Eden Podcast, brought to you by the members of the Tru 316 Foundation. Research into the Old and New Testaments by Dr. Joy Fleming and Reverend Bruce C.E. Fleming forms the base of all our work. Joy is a former Old Testament professor and is a practicing licensed psychologist. Bruce is the author of the Eden Book series, which starts with Book 1, the Book of Eden, Genesis 2-3. We invite you to become a donor member of the Tru 316 Foundation, as together we seek to true the verse of Genesis 3:16 and related passages. When you become a member, we'll send you an autographed copy of the Book of Eden. Sign up today by going to tru316.com/member. That's TRU316.com/member.